Hello, we're here and we are in Skyrim today, and we are back to whipping it, or in other terms, basically, we're going to be looking at some more work in progress mods. So, for the first one, as you can see, we are in the Sleeping Giant Inn, even though it's probably a bit hard to tell because they all look the same. But we are in the Sleeping Giant Inn in Riverwood. Now, all three mods in this video today, they are all within the Riverwood area, so they're all very close to one another. So it's a work in progress Riverwood special, so to speak. But the first one we're going to look at is Dragon War Relics by Sir Cornolio. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Sir Cornolio. And yeah, so these are Dragon War relics. So to find them, yeah, you're gonna come into the Sleeping Giant Inn, and then you're gonna go into the first room on the left, and you're gonna be looking for this chest here, the one that's kind of clipping through the bed a little bit, and that's the chest you were looking for. So as you can see, now I don't think any of the weapons and the armors in here have a unique look. I think they all just look like the standard in-game stuff. But they are all enchanted, all enchanted weapons, all enchanted items. I think all the armor is heavy armor except from the shield. The shield is the only thing that is light armor. Everything else is heavy armor. So as for example, you got the Dragon Slayer helmet. Increases the damage of your elemental attacks by 25%. Grants 10% of extra critical hit chance against dragons. So it's pretty useful. At more and battle axe. Exceptionally deadly steel that ignores normal armor and can be swung more quickly. So now that's a little bit different because it's not an enchantment that is. It's not an enchantment that has a charge. There's no charge to it by the looks of it. So there is a good chance that it may not run out. Possibly. Or you can enchant it with an actual enchantment, but it still keeps what it's got in the description there. Because there's no charge bar or anything like that to it. You got Aegis of the Jailer, resists 70% of frost magic while blocking, creates a powerful ward. Not too shabby. Dragon Slayer Gauntlet, you are 50% more efficient with shields and melee weapons. 10% extra critical hit chance against dragons. Dragon Slayer Boots improves your carry weight, stamina regen, and shock resistance. So it doesn't tell you by how much. It just tells you how much what it is, but it doesn't tell you by how much it does it. That's not a problem. And increases your critical hit chance against dragons by 10%. Boulder's armor. You are functionally invulnerable to all threats, both physical and magical. So I'm guessing that's sort of like the god cheat armor. We're not going to put that on. We're just going to look what they do. And then it'd be up to you lot to, if you decide to give it this stuff to try it for yourself, to actually try it out and see what works and what doesn't work, as this is a work in progress mod. Dragon Slayer armor resists 25% of physical damage from dragons, chance to reflect melee damage and absorb spells, once per day, chance to avoid death. Conjuration spells are less successful. I'm not totally sure how they made conjuration spells less successful, as they don't really work on the concept of chance. So I'm not entirely sure how that one works then. Well, that's for you lot to let me know. Stormcaller Amulet. Reduce shout cooldown and shock damage received by 70%. Increases shock damage dealt by 25%. reduces shout down, but so the fire tongue amulet is the same as the Stormcaller, except from its fire damage instead of shock damage, and the snow throw is basically frost damage, but the stats are the same as the other two amulets. An ancient tongue amulet increases your health by 50 points, reduces the cooldown between shouts by 35%. Not too bad, not too shabby. Ancient Atmoran sword, same as the axe, it's just instead of it being a two-handed axe, it is a one-handed sword. And ancient chieftain armor increases heavy armor skill by 15 points, increases magic resistance by 50%. So compared to Boulder's armor or the Dragon Slayer armor, that one is a little bit more modest. It's a little bit more kind of balanced, but still useful. It can still be a useful piece of armor. So yeah. Now, yeah, I'm not going to test everything out with this. I'm not going to test all the weapons and all the arms and stuff. This, that lot, I'm going to let you decide that. If you're not, you know what, I'll give it a little go. This is obviously just me showing it off. So, in the ways of whether, so for example, the weapons, whether they can be enchanted or not, obviously not 100% sure, as they technically don't actually have a charge bar for the enchantment or usages. So there's a very good chance that the way they actually been set up with the ignores armor and swim more quickly, you can actually change that within the actual creation of the weapon in the creation kit without actually it being any kind of enchantment at all. Because there's like a flag box when creating a weapon in the creation kit that gives you a list of like loads of flags, which is like it's stuff like ignores weapon resistance, whether it's playable, whether it's whether you can actually pick it up or you can't pick it up, stuff like that. So like stuff to do like just the details and the fine lines of the weapon itself. And and obviously there's also boxes where you can adjust how much damage it does, how fast it swings, its range, and stuff like that. Its critical chance percentage, and the multiplier of what its critical hit is. You can alter all of that without making it an enchantment. So I think the weapons, you can still enchant them. The only thing I don't know is if these can actually be improved at a weapons bench or not. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm going to say that they can. I mean, it seems like the person who made this does seem to have an idea of what they're doing. So I would imagine they would know how to make basically crafting recipes for these items. So then you can actually improve them to make them stronger. So yeah, I mean, this is not bad. It's not bad at all. The only thing that is a little bit of a shame, but again, since this is PS for PlayStation, I can understand why they haven't. But it was to give the things like a slightly more unique look in the ways of just changing its texture, because you can't obviously with PlayStation you can't change how the shield actually. For example, the shield. You can't change how the shield looks in the ways of its shape or anything. No, you can't take like one of the quarter panels out or something like that. You can't do that on PlayStation. It's impossible. It doesn't work. But what you can change is its texture. So it'll still have the same shape and all that, but the texture will be different. So that would have been nice, but at the same time, I don't blame them for not doing it. It could be either because they don't know how to do that just yet, or they just thought, there's no point. Which, yeah, that's like fair enough. Sometimes changing textures for loads of different armors and stuff like that is a bit of a pain and tedious. So I don't blame them for not doing it. But right, So that was Dragon War Relics by Sir Cornolio. And as always, there will be a link in the description below if you want to try out this mod for yourself. As I think it's only currently in the work in progress tab, I don't think it's anywhere else at the moment. So there'll be a link in the description there if you want to try it out for yourself. And just to see how it all goes and how they work and whether they're actually as good as they seem to be. But right, we're gonna leave the Sleeping Giant Inn, and we are just gonna literally just hop over the inn, jump over the roof, land back on our feet, and we're gonna head to house number 1 with mod number 2. Alright, and here we are with mod number 2, which again is literally just behind the Sleeping Giant Inn. So easy to get there. Alright, so mod number 2 is Home of the One by it's his foreign name, so unfortunately I might butcher it. So it is Giaco Ron 86. If I've butchered your name, I'm terribly sorry. But I'm not so sure how you would pronounce that name. But again, this is Home of the One, and again, this is a work in progress. So, you know, whether it's follower friendly yet or not, I don't know. Whether it's fully completed yet, don't know. But we're going to have a look, and we'll go and see. Alright, and here we are. So it's definitely one of those homes where it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. But it does look like it's just this one spot at the moment. But we do have a chef. I'm going to speak to the chef shortly. Right, so Home of the One. What have we got? So we've got some leeks and fertile soil, so you might be able to grow some more plants. His robe, his shoes, his hood, his robe, gloves, and obviously his robe. Are these enchanted? Oh, that one is increased carrying rate. Robe, gloves, and shoes. Okay, let's have a look at what it's like when we're wearing his stuff. Apparently, we are wearing his stuff, and this is what his stuff looks like. Oh, there's a whole bunch of swords here. Imperial sword, Imperial sword of scorching, Imperial sword of torpor, Imperial sword of shocks, and another Imperial sword. You know, not bad for the beginning of the game. Get some enchanted weapons early on. You know, if you're just starting a new game. Here's potion case. Apparently there's something in it. Solution of strength, potion of healing, enhanced stamina. Nothing in the ingredients, but that's fine. I'm surprised it's not saying his alchemy lab. And I was just about to say, and his chest, but technically it kind of does. His soul gem container. Couple of some soul gems. Unfortunately, they are empty, but you know, I mean, they at least have, you know, the black soul gem and grand soul gem, so they're good ones. Here's item storage. There seems to be there's 10 daggers in there for some reason. I'm not so sure, but there's 10 daggers. Arcane enchanter, so you got all your stuff you need there. His spell safe. Well, you know, got a couple of extra starter spells that you can use. So bound bow, candlelight. Not too shabby. His jewelry safe. 5 gold diamond rings. There you go. Not too bad at all. And Grey Fox. So, was it the Grey Fox who used to live here at one point? Don't know. His bookcase. Just a few random books. His I like that. His bookcase. His other bookcase. Is that, really? I would never have guessed that this was another bookcase of his. Oh dear lord. Workbench. Oh, we got some actual armor. We got plenty of starting ingots. His smelting pot. Where's this one then? Okay, so the animation is still like you're working at the actual smelter, but you know, for the sake of making this work a bit easier, that's fine. You know that can work. That can work still. I'll put what I would have done though, personally myself, is that I would have changed it to the cooking pot, so at least then you're stirring it rather than shoveling nothing. But I suppose it's, at least they got you the smelter in here without it being some big ass smoky smelter in a wood thing. Even though there's a trapdoor over there, so we will have to go down there and have a look. They got plenty of ingots. Nice good starting set of ingots. Then we've got his crown, his cuirass, his gauntlets, and his heavy boots. So let's have a look and see how we look like when we put this stuff on. And there we are. That is his heavy armor. So it looks like it's the ebony mail, the Stormcook officer gauntlets, the orcish boots, and the jagged crown. Fair enough. Another patch for fertile soil. But obviously, yeah, you got your sand rack, forge, grindstone here as well. You got your own little bar. If you fancy just hosting a small little get together with a couple of friends, you got your own little bar. You got your own fireplace. Got all your standing stones. With the thief one being the most prominent one because there's two and they're huge. Just need to sort out the backing of this a little bit, just to make, just to give it that to give it that more of that look that it's actually connected to the building. But just a little detail that they can obviously fix at some other point. Well, a nice fireplace, nice place to sit at whilst you're on the bloody fire. Just sit there in your evenings, drinking a bottle of one of your meads or something, just staring at the fire, thinking about what you're gonna do next. Yeah, nice little cozy. Little cozy snug in the corner. There you got another little bar here. You got your oven. But you have the chef, Jake Bob. Now I don't know if that's a reference to somebody or not. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously the Argon most likely had the face glitch. Is it me or is he actually quite short? Yeah, I think he's been made a bit shorter.
Well, hello.
Doesn't do anything by the looks of it. So I don't know if he's been set up to be like a kind of merchant or if he's literally just someone who just cooks. But you got your own little chef. I mean, yeah, again, face glitch. They'll have the face glitch, but I think that's because the person, Jericho wanted to, but obviously make the person a bit shorter, make them a little bit different, which then to try and sort out the face glitch then is much harder. So I don't blame them from having the face glitch. Then you got the centered room. His fine clothes, his hat, his fine gloves. I'm not gonna worry about putting them on because we can kind of see what they actually are. So his dresser, his strong box. What are we got now? 100 gold. Sit in the chair. His fine boots. And nothing on there just yet. His cover. His foot locker. 5,000 gold. Ooh. Nice. But 5,000 gold. So far, this is probably not a bad one as like a starter home. Unless of course they make improvements to it like further down the line, because obviously As you can see, obviously you can see it's not follower friendly at the moment, which again that's perfectly fine. Though it looks like it may be nav meshed because you got this dude in here, but I don't know if it's actually if it's nav meshed yet or not. I'm not 100% sure. But obviously I can't properly test that unless I can actually get somebody in here. But obviously again, this is a work in progress, so obviously they probably will, or hopefully, they'll come back to this, you know, do some little updates, do some little changes, you know, bada bing, bada boom. But what we've got down below the trapdoor then? Oh, nothing at the moment. Okay, so that looks like that might be a planned extension. But yeah. So yeah, so definitely this one it's not a bad one as a starter home at the moment. You know, you know, you get a chance to get yourself a good bit of money to start with. You can get some some enchanted weapons early on as well. Whether you actually use them or disenchant them to get the enchantment off them. But lucky enough you've got the arcane enchantment there already. You got some ingots there where you can make some stuff up as well, or improve some stuff. You know, you got the storage that you need. So yeah, you know, as a starter home, you know, it could work for a basic starter home. So yeah, so far at the moment, the only things that I would change at the moment, layout, keep the layout as it is. There's nothing wrong with the layout at all or anything like that. I mean, there is a bit of like glitch going on the floor here, but that could just be a simple thing where they just have to move one of the floor tiles a little bit, nothing major or anything like that. Just like a little tiny detail. Same with like the fireplace. It's just put something behind here to make it look like it's connected to the wall, rather than just being a flat panel. But again, that's just a small minor detail. If it is nav meshed, then to try and connect it to the world, which I know can be a little bit of a bastard sometimes. Depends on how the creation kit wants to handle it. Sometimes. But it shouldn't be too difficult to do. And then obviously whatever they're planning to do with this trapdoor. So yeah, in general, doesn't need that much done to it at the moment. But yeah. So all in all, not a bad starter home. Is it a home that you probably use in a later game? Probably not. You know, in later game you probably would use something a bit more substantial for later game. But for early game, if you just started a new file or something like that, or for early game, you know, even if you don't use it as a player home, it's not a bad one to start with to get some items. Get some items, get some money. I just use the assets that it has rather than the actual house. Use it for the assets. You know, in start game. But yeah, so that is Home of the One by Giaco Ron 86. And again, there will be a link in the description below if you want to just have a look at this yourself. Or so then you can go, or to give some kind of feedback to this player, to Home of the One, and just say to them what things you think that they could add to the house, what things you think that they could slightly change to the house, just like a little bit of generalized feedback. And same again with the Dragon War Relics one, so same again to give some feedback to them. But alright, so now that we've done mod number 2, we are going to move on to mod number 3, and for that we just literally need to just go outside Riverwood. Alright, and here we are with mod number 3, which is Descendants of House Hlaalu by Macabre Forever. So, literally just over there is Riverwood. So as you can see, all you gotta do It's just come to this entrance of Riverwood, you know, where you got the little campsite thing there. Jump up here a little bit, and then boosh! There it is. Descendants of House Hlaalu. And as you can see, we got a little gathering circle of Hlaalu thrones. As of that moment, I don't know if they serve any other purpose or just to literally just be here. But again, this is another work in progress mod, so they may plan to do something with these a little bit further down the line if they decide to return to this mod. Which hopefully they do, because it's like, you know, House Hlaalu was a bit sort of a thing that was fully established in Morrowind. You know, so it would be nice for them to, like, you know, and it's talking about descendants. You know, so it would be nice to, you know, make this a bit more of a prominent thing, rather than just, oh, there's just 4 thrones out there for no apparent reason apart from they're there. Right. So again, I've got a funny feeling again. This is going to be one of those TARDIS houses, where it seems to be bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. So it's a TARDIS house. Right, so let's go and have a look inside. Alright, so it's a bit dimmish. So I'm just gonna get a torch. Oh, there you go. There you go, a little bit there. Right, so as you can see, it is follower friendly. Okay, so it's not one of these big houses, but there is a bunch of Dumner in here. So we've got a bunch of Dumner in here. Oh, I mean, that's obviously to be expected. There'd be a bunch of Dumner. So we've got Valenda Refi.
An amulet of Mara? You're looking for marriage, then?
Alright. So she can follow you. She's marryable. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Ravone Barano.
Is that an amulet of Mara? I'm surprised someone like you isn't spoken for.
So once again, is it marryable? Be a follower.
I'd better get going.
So bada bing, bada boom. And if we go at top, then we have Navina Renfen, or Reffen.
Need something?
Marryable. Also can be a follower. And Woven Helve.
There's something you need.
Who is the only one who's not marryable.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Right. So they're all marryable apart from this dude here. Forben. Okay. So I like the aspect that there's followers. I like that. Okay, then being marryable isn't obviously like the key thing. You don't live here, Kurzagron. Why are you sweeping the floor? See, that's more like it. Have a drink. Okay, people do seem to be doing some idle animations in some random places. So he's just drinking just in the middle out of there. But I was just by the bed eating bread. Just eating bread by the bed. It's very strange. But yeah. So obviously, you know, so in the ways of a basic player home, this is probably not too bad. I mean, okay, but she's having a thrilling conversation with that pole, you know. So thrilling that she has to have a drink while she's talking to the pole. Oh, God he knows. She's finally gone mad. Yeah, I like the idea. Okay, so this one, I like the idea. Now, obviously, there's a possible chance, obviously, that there might be a bit more detail put into this maybe further down the line. They might add a few bits and pieces, this and that and the other. And if they do, which I hope they do, because I like this idea. Because because there could definitely be much more to this. Easily could be much more to this. You know, as a basic start, it's fine. It's nothing. You know, it's follower friendly. it seems to be, it's follower friendly. It seems to be nav meshed. You get followers. Most of the followers are technically marryable, though that's not a key detail. But the options there. You know, you got what looks like basic storage and places to sleep. As it's not, they're not saying that they're owned, but that's not to say that directly at the moment it's safe to store anything in here. So I wouldn't go storing stuff in here just yet anyway. And all, oh, maybe torch gone up. What? Why are you praying there? I mean, what the hell are you doing? So are you praying for a good night's sleep? I don't know. But yeah, so I've lost where I was now. Makes me die. I've lost where I was. But yeah, obviously, So obviously, it's not unless the mod author says anything different. I wouldn't store anything in here just in case. One, because I'm not 100% sure if it's actually designed to be used as a player home just yet, and two, if they update it, then you're gonna have to take all your stuff out anyway, or or basically at least take all your stuff out of anything that any of the containers or dressers you put it in, and then update so you don't lose them. So if you do think about using this as a player home, even if it's just a little expansion one, because you've got like the relocate NPC mod on, I would say wait until this is finally fully released and then use it. But yeah, all in all, I like the idea. I like the idea that they're using something that is already pre-established in Elder Scrolls lore by using House Hlaalu. I mean, yeah, I probably would have preferred a little bit more, like a bit more work done on it, like adding in a bit more storage stuff, and a few more details, this, that, and the other, getting the lighting right, because the lighting isn't right at the moment. It's a bit too dark for people that actually live in here. They wouldn't live in, they wouldn't live in this kind of darkness. More than likely, they would probably want to actually light it up a bit more. But as you can see, it's not lit up amazingly well. But that's probably something that will probably be changed further down the line if they come back to this. Which, again, hopefully they do. No, I'm not going to say, what they should add and what they shouldn't add, this, that, and the other. Not on this one, anyway. Because this is very bare bones. And in the ways of what space you have on the inside of the basic house, it's not a lot. I mean, would I add a basement? Yes, I would totally add a basement. Put the basement door here or something and add a basement. That is one thing I would totally do, is add a basement. Because you don't have a lot of room in here. But, I would have, but again, yeah, I would have preferred there to be a bit more done to the house. But again, as well, it is a work in progress. So, they've probably got other shit to do as well, so they're just doing this whenever they can. And so obviously it might take a little bit longer. Bada bing, bada boo. And if that's the case, oh well, we'll just have to wait. But, it's just to bring a little bit more life to the house and add a basement. Those are my two main pieces of feedback. And if you want to give Macabre Forever any extra feedback, there will be a link in the description below to this mod itself. So you can either try it out for yourself, or just leave them some feedback from what you've seen on this video. But right, that is it, and this was Descendants of House Hlaalu by Macabre Forever. And once again, all the mods in this video, they will all have links in the description below, so you can check them out for yourself, or leave the mod authors any feedback. If you have any more suggestions, let me know in the comments below, or come and find me on my Discord, where you can also leave either mod suggestions, or just ask me other general questions, or anything like that, or just ask me how I'm doing. Or you can speak to the 2 Germans I have on there. And hopefully you could translate German. I mean, lucky enough they can type in English, but sometimes they have a conversation between themselves and it's German, and I can see it, and I'm like, I know I did German for 3 years, but I can't understand what you're saying. Unfortunately, I can't understand what you're saying. So maybe you could be someone who understands German, but don't say that you do. So then you could tell me what they're saying, so I know. But anyway, if you like this video, why not give it a like? It helps out in some kind of way. I don't know how it works on YouTube, but apparently liking videos does something. Also subscribe if you want to see what other videos I've done, stuff like this and stuff like that. You can also click on the notification bell to keep up to date with whenever I upload a new video, which I normally tend to do about 2 videos a week. I tend to try and keep to that if I can. But yeah, that's it. Alright, so until the next time, I'll see you all later.